Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Shambho, Shambho, Mahadevaya. Yoga, Yoga, Yogeshwaraya Bhuta, Bhuta, Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya
Now, you want to change the mic?
Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho
Check. Is it good?
Mahadevaya.
Okay, sit down everybody. Sure.
Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta
How will the question come to me?
Bhuteshwaraya
Yeah, but what about the people?
Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya. Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya. Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya. Namaskaram, namaskaram to all of you wherever you are. We are here at Cahokia Mound City in Missouri. This is just day 3. But as all of you know, across the world, in many places where people thought the virus situation is settling down is again ramping up. Second coming happening in many places. This is important for us to understand that there is no such thing as, it's not like a screen will come down and say, okay, virus is over. It is there. It is just that we have to make it ineffective by being responsible and cautious about what we are doing and conscious about the way we exist to ensure that it doesn't have too much impact. Well, United States, India, Brazil, Russia, still on the top, UK is again coming up. Fortunately, the fatalities are going down. This means that we are handling it better, both at homes and in hospitals. But still, the numbers are very high. This is not a time to let our guard down. This is a time to ensure that the virus is made ineffective by the way we behave, because there is no magic cap on the virus itself. Well, as human beings, we are super concerned about this virus. But we ourselves have been like a virus on this planet. The recent WWF report about the Global Living Planet report that's happened, doesn't speak well at all about us. From 1970 to 2016, the average decline of 68% of mammals, birds, amphibians, reptiles and fishes happened. 68%. In about 50 years' time, nearly 70% of significant life on this planet is gone for no other reason than the human virus. Most alarming drop has happened in Latin America and the Caribbean islands. 94% of vertebrate wildlife populations are wiped out. 94%, yes, you're hearing the number right. 1 million wildlife species are threatened with extinction. What is our plan for this planet? We are very concerned about virus killing us, about virus affecting us. I know this may sound brutal at a time like this, but we need to understand that our behavior on this planet has been more virulent than the virus. Of course, immediately everyone will jump to this question, what can I do, what can I do? What we can do is the next thing, but first thing is to make the planet conscious that this is where we stand. It's very simple. in the sense, it is not something that you correct overnight. Do we have a clear-cut plan for next 25 years, 50 years, 100 years? This is the first question. Whatever the goals that were set to be achieved by 2020, from 2010 to 2020, none of those goals have been met. Well, governments have to get together, but governments, at least today, in large part of the world, are just people, not descendants from heaven, people who got elected. Why are elected people not doing what is needed for the people? Well, simply because people themselves have not asked what they really want. We as people on this planet have not made it very, very clear that this is what we want. We are busy in our competitions, we are busy in desperately trying to be better than somebody else. In this game of one-upmanship, the planet is taking a huge toll. Plant extinctions are 2 times as high as mammals, birds and amphibians combined, the number of plants which are just vanishing from the planet. We need to understand the richness of life on this planet. The complexity of life that we are is a consequence of the complexity of species that have happened, the biodiversity. Without that, this life cannot happen in its present form. Or in other words, we are pulling out the foundation stones of our existence. Yes, virus is a concern, but we behaving like virus, we conducting ourselves like brainless virus with excessive compulsive activity is a bigger concern than some virus killing us. Well, if we don't fix this, in the next couple of decades, if significant action doesn't happen, well, climate change does not mean there'll be just floods and cyclones. When the biodiversity is lost, the very basis, the foundation stones of our existence are being undone. Are we making a statement that the only way to fix is that a whole lot of us must die, mass extinction of human beings need to happen, or mass murder? This is mass murder, I'm telling you. This is not about accusing anybody, all of us are a part of it. So when all of us are a part of it, the problem is let all of us act, and that's not going to happen. You must act. Every one of us must act in our life. What is it? Simple acts of saving water, doing this, not throwing plastic, yes, these are all wonderful things, but that's not going to do this. One most important thing, this may look like I'm a broken record, that I'm going on repeating the same thing again and again and again. I'm saying this once again. One of the simplest ways right now, in the given conditions, at present level of human populations, one of the simplest thing that we can do is put back 35 to 40% of the land under tree cover. Without this, we are not going to create an atmosphere for biodiversity to exist and flourish. Well, this may not bring back the vertebrates, at least it will keep the microorganisms going, which is most vital for our existence. the way things are shaping up for the planet, it's not about the planet. Planet will exist. Planet is not in peril. It is human beings. Either we come out of this consciously or a disaster will bring us back into senses is left to us. The immensity of suffering we have caused to every creature on this planet is too much. Right now, just by correcting a little bit of lifestyle is not going to fix that. One significant aspect is definitely that we need to recover for sure. Another is we have to plan that in the next 25 to 50 years, human populations are reduced, because reducing human consumption, yes, we must work towards that, but reducing human aspirations is far more difficult than reducing human population. What should we do? Well, you don't have to plan a genocide, that's not the way to do life. We simply have to postpone birth. Of course, there are people who say, where will be the workforce? If you postpone birth, the power of population, I think you lost your mind. You don't seem to see the picture that is staring in front of you. You have become a marketplace in your head. Because of that, you are thinking, where are the consumers to sell my products? Where are the workers to make my products? This is not the way to look at life. I'm saying in 50 years, nearly 70% of significant life on this planet, vertebrates means in the evolutionary scale of things, it took millions of years to get them there. 70% of that life we have wiped out. If we don't wake up now, well, the planet may decide to put a lot of us to sleep. As I said, this is the third day of exploring spiritual America. I will not go into the detail of where we've been going. I think the social media is covering that, I don't want to go into that. Yeah, here is a little poem for you, because some people are out there calling Sadhguru, you are a adventure addict. No, I am not an addict of anything. In fact, the moment you become an addict to something, addict means repetitive life. Addiction means repetition. Where there's repetitiveness, where is adventure? So, this is a poem just today, fresh no repetition. It's called Adventure. When pangs of passion arise for dimensions that are of no personal concern, begins the adventure of life. When pangs of passion arise for dimensions that are of no personal concern, begins the adventure of life. What a croaking frog you should be to invest life into transactions of ventures of exchange. What a croaking toad you should be to invest life into transactions of ventures of exchange. Adventure, not a conquest, but a surrender of oneself to something that has no return on investment. Adventure, not a conquest, but a surrender of oneself to something that has no return on investment. There's no return on investment for life, because what return do you want for life? When of all the many phenomena that are happening in the universe, life is the most intricate and sophisticated, fantastic phenomena that you can have. When that's come to you as a gift, what return on investment do you want to have? May you adventure through your life. I think there are questions, let me attend because just at 8:30 or within the hour we have to close because we have an engagement in a site which is little away from here. We will have to travel there within a few minutes and be there. So, please, let's go to the questions.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. My name is Abhimanyu. I am studying in second standard and I live in Bangalore. I saw your bike ride video in America. You're really cool and you ride so fast. I love it. Right now I'm feeling left out as you are traveling outside while I am not even allowed to go to school. I really want to ride with you.
What's your question?
My question is, are you okay with the idea of a kid being your pillion rider? And if yes, tell me how do I contact you? If no, then tell me why no.
My name is Abhimanyu. I am studying in second standard and I live in Bangalore. I saw your bike ride video in America. You are really cool and you ride so fast, I love it. Right now I'm feeling left out as you are traveling outside while I'm not even allowed to go to school. I really want to ride with you.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. My name is Abhimanyu. I am studying in second standard and I live in Bangalore. I saw your bike ride video in America. You are really cool and you ride so fast. I love it. Right now I'm feeling left out as you are traveling outside while I am not even allowed to go to school. I really want to ride with you. My question is, are you okay with the idea of a kid being your pillion rider? And if yes, tell me how do I contact you? If no, then tell me why no.
Well, Abhimanyu, second standard, huh? So, that's one more than first standard. Progress. Well, Abhimanyu, you know you are the namesake of the very famous Abhimanyu, Arjuna's son, a brilliant young boy, very adventurous, brave as it comes. But unfortunately, his life ended too soon because he was in a bit of a rush. He grasped how to penetrate a formation in the battlefield, but he was not patient enough to figure out or to wait to understand how to get out of that formation. So he got killed as a young boy, brave young boy, still celebrated, but unfortunately, the adventure didn't turn out well. So, Abhimanyu, let's understand this. Well, you're longing to ride with me, wonderful. Maybe if you fulfill a few conditions, you will ride with me in the next few months. First of all, I want you to understand, what is it that is exciting you? Well, you're not able to school, that should excite you. Well, I'm riding a motorcycle, that's exciting for you, that's nice. But adventure is not just upon a motorcycle. It's about going beyond limitations. When you start stretching to break limitations, physical, mental, emotional and perceptional limitations that you have, then you're in an adventure mode. Adventure is not about doing a particular kind of activity. There is no specific activity that you can call as adventure. It is the way you conduct the activity. Well, probably your idea of adventure, I think the word that you use is exciting. A particular activity may seem exciting, but the same activity can become boring over a period of time. A lot of people, ask your parents or adults around you, they were very excited when they got their new job or their first job. But after some time, they're suffering their job. Like this, people are very excited because they went to a new place. After that, a little bit of repetitiveness, then it gets boring. So do not ever look for exciting activity. There is a way to make any activity exciting. That's what you should look at. If you know how to make every activity that you perform exciting, small or big, doesn't matter littlest things in your life, you can make it very exciting. All that it takes is, in every simple activity, you're seeing how to break some limitation, how to go beyond certain limits that your body sets, your mind sets, your emotions set, and your very perception sets upon you. When I say perception, because you're a second standard boy, I'm telling you all this. The others, the adults who are listening, they're little getting bored, but most will grow old and die without realizing these simple things. When I was a child, you must be 7, 8 years of age. When I was at that age, what intrigued me was, if I see a tree, why am I not able to see what's behind it? If I see my finger, I'm not able to see the other side of it, why? So, well, I did not know all these theories of light and it reflects and that's how you see, but I wanted to bend my eyes and see somehow. Well, I didn't get my eyes around, my eyeballs wouldn't go out and do that. But then I saw, in the process of seeing something, the vision itself, I don't know, you must check with an ophthalmologist to what extent what I'm saying is true, but in my experience, I find more than 50% of what you see is in your mind. It's your mind which sees, not your eyes. Your eyes take an image inside, but the process happens there. If you refine that process, at least 50% of what your eyes cannot see, you can see. So I paid attention, this became a very big adventure for me, that simply sitting and staring at something became a big adventure. Somebody who looks at me from outside may think I'm doing something very dull, but it was the greatest adventure because I was stretching myself. In a way, this is what yoga means. Every day in the morning, people are stretching painfully because they don't know what is adventure they don't understand. If you get to stretch a little more, it's a big adventure because something exciting and tremendous happens in that process. So adventure is not about looking for exciting things to do. Adventure is about doing all the tiniest little things that we do in an exciting manner. So I want you to start this adventure right now. You being a little boy, I'm sure you're very fond of your mother. Just try this today, stretch your emotional limitations. Whoever is around you, doesn't matter, your neighbors, your friends, people on the street, man, woman, child, anybody. Try to look at all of them with the same fondness that you look upon your mother. I am saying, look at everybody who's walking on the street like they are your mothers. Very simple. Because our experience of life is unfortunately stymied or crippled or constipated by all kinds of concepts that we have. Once you're constantly in a mode to see how to go beyond where you are, you will cross rivers beyond bridges. You will cross oceans beyond ships. Above all, you will have friendships beyond relationships. Unfortunately, most human beings are able to form a friendship only with those things that they can relate to. You're not looking at why you're not able to relate to something. What is it that makes you relate to one thing and not relate to another thing? If you constantly see how to stretch your physical, mental, emotional and perceptional limitations, your life is one big adventure. Adventure need not necessarily mean you have to go out and conquer the world. Adventure is not a conquest. In fact, adventure means you have surrendered what you like and dislike. You surrendered what is mine and not mine. Adventure means surrender of oneself to things which are beyond us. Climbing Mount Everest may look like a great adventure, yes it is, but straddling the peak of your consciousness is a much bigger adventure. So adventure does not need terrain. Right now, you're complaining, I cannot come to United States and ride with me. So, passports and visas and other limitations that societies have set upon us are not limitations for an adventurer, because with your eyes closed, you can do the greatest adventure. But well, you want to ride the motorcycle, I understand. So let me set up something for you. Contact somebody in Isha, in Bangalore, there are so many people. Learn a simple process, a physical process called Surya Shakti. If they're not teaching Surya Shakti, learn Surya Namaskar. You are 8 years of age. 54 Surya Namaskars you must do, not just one day. Start with 8, slowly increase it by 1 every day. After a week, hold it there for 3 to 4 days and again increase it by 1 every day. Like this you increase at your own pace. When you reach 54 informers, I'm going to take you for a ride. How's that for you? And as I told you already, another thing is every day you must walk on the street looking at everybody, man, woman, child, dog, cattle, trees, everything, with the same fondness with which you look up to your mother when she's very nice to you, not when she's pushing you to school. How you feel about her, like that you look at everybody. So you've broken the physical limitation and you've broken the emotional limitation. Other two things I'll excuse you because you got 50%, man, you can ride with me. And above all, if you ride with me, you need strong arms to hold on, otherwise you will fly. So you need to do 54 Surya Namaskars. When you're able to manage this every day, you're going to ride with me for sure. Okay? Is that good? One more question is there? So, as a part of this exploring spiritual America, we been going through various things. As you know, we started from Tennessee, from Isha Institute. Around Tennessee, the ashram where we are, this was Cherokee Nation at one time. And now the infamous Trail of Tears and the Indian Removal Act, which did that, it left a lot of pain and misery in people, terrible things happened. Well, that's history. But the Native American people moved on, and wherever they went, they settled down and tried to revive their ways. Not to be, but still very doggedly they have kept their culture to whatever extent they can in these changing times. And riding from there, this is just day 3, already my speedometer is reading 1,872 miles. That must be over 2,500 kilometers, 2,800 kilometers probably, 3 days. So you know what we've been doing. On the way, we visited some very interesting places like the Mammoth Caves, and Mammoth Caves being the largest cave system on the planet, over 400 miles. Yes, 400 miles. People are asking me variety of questions from family, from friends and various other volunteers. Sadhguru, what is it that drives you like this? I just want you to know, I am the one who is driving it, nothing driving me anywhere. Well, adventure or sense of adventure springs in you not because of your need for conquest. When you develop an immense sense of love for something, naturally you will stretch beyond your limits. So one must understand that some freaky ambition of proving who you are is not adventure. When you develop a certain sense of… a very profound sense of love for something, you will naturally stretch yourself beyond all limits. For that little boy, if he's still on, I must tell you, a few months ago I met Jane Goodall. If you don't know who she is, you must look it up. So when she was a little girl, her sense of adventure made her go and sleep in a chicken coop because she wanted to see how the chicken will lay their eggs, how the eggs will hatch. So she went and slept in the chicken coop. You must understand, adventure means, first thing is they take away all your comforts. This is the basic principle. I've trekked in the Himalayas. These days, you know, I'm better equipped these days, I'm over 60 now, but I've slept on the street side culverts in freezing cold without any kind of warm clothes, just with a thick t-shirt and trousers, and adventured on. Well, the comfort of a bed, the comfort of warm meals, and a clean bathroom. All this vanishes from your life. So people go through these things not because they're trying to prove who they are. People go through this because there is a profound sense of love for something for which they're willing to forego anything to just touch that dimension. So later on, I'm continuing the story for the little boy. Jane Goodall went on to become one of the foremost authorities on anything concerned with primates. Our understanding in the world of what the primates are, what they're capable of, various aspects of how they live, what they eat, how they relate to each other, how they respond to each other, and how human they are. I'm telling you, has come to us mainly because of her work. So, from sleeping in a chicken coop might have looked like a crazy nonsense, but it is that willingness to go through whatever, to know something, to stretch your knowing, to stretch your perception, to touch something beyond the limitations of what you are right now, is the basis of adventure. And without adventure, what are you? A venture, Pile up your profits. I'm thinking of starting a delivery service, like DHL or whatever the other companies, I'm not getting them. That post-death, it will be delivered, all your goods, like Amazon, why not? All the things that you accumulate I'm planning to have a delivery service that when you're gone, wherever you're gone, hell or heaven, we'll deliver your refrigerator, we'll deliver your clothes and, everything that you have gathered, and 112 pairs of footwear that you have. I'm thinking of starting a delivery service, it's a surefire business, what do you think? Time to adventure. That means you are not a transactional life, you're just a life. Because life is not a transaction. Life is about transcendence, not transactions. If you do not transcend your own limitations, if you do not transcend the limitations of your concepts, the limitations of your own mental strategies, the limitations of your emotions, and limitations of what you like and dislike, there's no adventure, just a venture, profit-making venture. That is why, to transport all your profits with you post your demise, I'm thinking of starting a company. Don't make me start this company, that means you're finished. Here we are in Cahokia, a city of mounds, Indian mounds. We will be showing these pictures and stuff to you, videos to you, but just to tell you, the Native American culture is not just what you have seen in the Wild West movies, where they come hoo-hooing on their horsebacks and shooting arrows at everybody that they see. No, they were well-developed cities. The Cahokia at one time held a population of anywhere between 20 to 40,000 people. Some of the mounds here are over 5,000 years old. For over 5,000 years, a city with that kind of population, with all the necessary arrangements, with a whole elaborate spiritual and religious processes and rituals, and an economic system of their own existed. They have been living in this land for anywhere between 10 to 40,000 years. They're as much land as land is. So we will be exploring Cahokia today. Be with us, ride with me.